Hello there, folks. This is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates. I have what I think is a very powerful video today. 10 ways to empower yourself while disemboweling narcissist. I'm just messing with the title. Don't go disemboweling any narcissist. You would get arrested. I was going to call it 10 ways to empower yourself while disempowering narcissists, but I couldn't help myself. I just thought I'd have a little fun. Psychologically, let's all admit it, we might enjoy psychologically disemboweling some narcissists, but that's not the emphasis of this video. The emphasis is on empowering yourself. I'm not going to share with you any ninja mind tricks, any tips, any tools. It's much bigger than that, my friends. There's no quick shortcuts. You have to do the work. You have to cry the tears. You have to do the body work. You have to do the EMDR. You have to cry some more tears. You need to do the yoga. You need to do the meditation. You need to build a support team. You need to do the talk therapy. You need to exercise more than you ever have in your life. Then you need to cry some more tears, and a month becomes 3 months, becomes 6 months, becomes a year. You need to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and then you need to cry some more tears. And then you need to change your space, your environment. And then you'll notice yourself getting a little bit of joy, getting a little bounce in your step. There's no ninja mind tricks, no tips, no tools. You have to do the work over a long period of time. Don't let anybody tell you different. We had a call this week, very strange call. A woman calling, asking how she could get revenge upon the narcissist. Dodo bird. Here's the thing. In order to get revenge, you have to not have a need to get revenge, and you have to not even want to. As long as you have a desire to get revenge, you'll never get the sweetest, most powerful form of psychological leveling and justice that the universe has to offer. The old saying, the best revenge is a well-lived life. Another version I've heard was, the best revenge is a joy-filled life. And you can't have joy if you're walking around feeling like a victim, feeling bitter, holding burning coals in each hand. You're not going to have joy. You're going to be stuck in time. So here are 10 ways that I have felt empowered, and I certainly feel a lot of joy these days. It has been, what has it been? It's been 15 and a half months since I was shattered. But I don't call my experience overall shattering, and I don't call it even narcissistic abuse syndrome, even those concepts are accurate. I call this experience with this vampire, borderline, dangerous monster, I call it my healing, because that's what it was. It was an opportunity that I sought out unconsciously to heal my unresolved childhood issues. So the 10 ways that you can empower yourself, and if you do that, you might just disembowel a narcissist or two. Number 1 would be to embrace your shattering your narcissistic abuse syndrome as your personal inner child healing. That's the key point right there. It isn't about studying all the ins and outs of the craftiness of the narcissist and becoming an expert on that. You need to know about that. You need to be able to spot them when you see them. But the very wonderful, proactive, positive, truthful experience of this horrible, painful, traumatic PTSD, body, flesh, wounding condition is to understand that it's simply giving you a golden opportunity to heal as you have never healed. I didn't really get a chance to address my childhood issues until I was 55 years old. And it was because I had found somebody who was a psychological clone of my borderline mother. So that's a shift in thinking. It's all about your healing. It's all good. Number 2, you have to cut out all the cancer. And the cancer is victim mentality. That's pretty. It's thinking like a victim. It's focusing on the bad deeds of the narcissist and under-focusing on the wounds of your childhood. It is being bitter and vengeful and stuck. That's cancer. When I work with marital couples, they come in and see me, there's only one thing I'm trying to achieve, and I'm trying to enlighten both parties that they've never been victimized by each other. I tell them that their heart is a garden, and victim mentality is a fast-growing weed that can grow into an oak tree. And I tell them every single time I see any vestige of victim mentality, I'm going to come at it with a weed whacker and a chainsaw and a big Ford truck to pull the roots up, because victim mentality is the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 50 cause of divorce. And victim mentality, my friends, is what will keep you stuck for decades in narcissistic abuse syndrome recovery. These knuckle-headed narcissists do not have the power to ruin your life. You invited them in, you gave them the power for a short amount of time or a long amount of time, and now you can use it to forge a life that is vibrant and creative and healed. That's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Number 3, definitely no contact is a given. What does a narcissist hate the most? Do they hate you to yell and scream at them? No. Do they hate if you get involved in a lot of triangling and venting publicly? No. You know what they hate. They hate it when you ignore them completely. It drives them insane. Even if you rage at them, it feeds some of their narcissistic supply. So as you disconnect and go no contact and disconnect psychologically, it will disembowel your narcissist. Sherry Argoff, and I'm going to give the book it came out of, and I hope nobody's offended, but it's a great quote. Sherry Argoff wrote a book called Why Men Love Crazy Bitches. And the quote goes like this: truly powerful people do not need to explain their need for respect. They simply do not engage with people who do not give it to them. Truly powerful people, they don't need to explain their need for respect. They simply do not engage in any way, shape, or form with people who don't give them respect. Number 4, find joy. Joy isn't a destination, it's a journey. Joy comes from deep in your belly. Joy comes from being clean in your conscience. Joy comes from finding things you love to do and doing them. Joy comes when a deep wound heals and you're well and you can get out and about and do things that you used to do. Number 5, list ways. Get a piece of paper out and list the ways that your life is better off without the narcissist. I haven't done that, but I'm going to do it off the top of my head. My home is better organized. When I was in the middle of being abused and tortured and abandoned and mind-fucked by this horrible vampire and financially sucked dry, my sauna in my garage did quit working, and I didn't get it fixed for 2 years because I didn't have enough focus. I got it fixed. My hot tub was a mess. Now it's better than it's ever been. My laundry, when she did it, would take a week and a half, and now I usually do it within 24 hours. My porch is redone and beautiful. My second motorcycle is working. My financial situation is so much better. The place is just brighter and cheerier and less disorganized. I have more joy. I'm a much, much, much better therapist. I have more energy. I'm so glad that I escaped the clutches of somebody who is just, they were so dangerous and so lethal, and I didn't know. And I was moving toward getting away, and finally broke the spell, even though I paid a price in PTSD, complex PTSD reactions. But list the ways that you're better off. I could go on and on. My life is better in every way, but it helps me to list them and to realize how blessed I am to not have this person in my life. Number 6, individuate these people out of your heads. I'm going to share a story in a little bit of, it wasn't a relapse, but sometimes when you're really tired, you can have triggers, and that's not defeat. But rarely does this individual rent space in my head anymore. And it's not because I'm white knuckling it and trying to not have her in my head. I just am looking forward, and my life is sort of, at this point, a celebration, and I bless people who touch my life because I feel like I have this spiritual energy running through me, and it came from doing the work. I didn't have this spiritual energy before my healing from this situation. So she is 98%, I wouldn't say that, I'd say 90% out of my head. It's only been 15 and a half months, so there's still that 10%, and I'm working on that. Number 7, stop bringing them up. So many times during a day, people could be making reference to this and that, and it would bring a memory up. This person's name is Betsy, and I would say, well, Betsy did this, and Betsy and I did that, and sometimes it was just a memory, and sometimes it was a whiny, victim-y, well, Betsy was mean to me kind of a thing. And I just don't do that anymore. I don't want to sully the moment with my friends and family with any references to that individual. So I just don't bring it up. I don't mention them in so many occasions when I was, and it was almost like I was re-traumatizing myself. I'm putting the person that I'm with in a little bit of an awkward spot. What do you say to that? It's clinging to the past. So even when a memory comes up and I could say, well, you know, Betsy and I went on vacation there and we stayed at, I just don't say it. And the moment passes, and then the moment is cleaner. And it's not about the past, it's about the present and the future. Number 8, and when you view this properly as your healing that you arranged and you were not victimized, and you're cataloging all the rich blessings that have come your way, then for me, I've been able to forgive this person because they are neither here nor there. They were just an actress in a play, and I don't forgive them for their sake. I forgive them for my own sake. I'm tired of walking around with burning coals in my palms. So there's a freedom to be able to be clean in your heart and to be able to forgive and to have a heart that's pure and unsullied and sort of white with the goodness of being able to forgive somebody even though they've done nothing to really deserve being forgiven. It's simply, I'm going to put the burning coal down, and the interaction with this person, all it did was make me better, way better. Number 9 is to reinvent your space, move furniture around. Paint is cheap. Paint your walls. Buy some flowers. Get rid of items that deeply trigger you. Put a new item in a room that was in another room. I just love my house. It's such a sanctuary now for me. But I needed to reinvent my space, and it will help you. And number 10, walk around with a spirit of gratitude and celebration. You have a new life, my friends. You have a lot to be grateful for. You survived, and now you're thriving. I was just thinking today, people around me, I'm noticing, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm noticing that I'm thriving so robustly these days that the people around me can't help but take on a little bit of that thriving energy. And it's a joy to spread positive love and energy. When your cup is running over, you can spill over on some other folks. And I hope that these videos are one expression of that, because I make them to bless you and to help you. This has been a pilgrimage for me. This has been a spiritual journey, and I have found the way. And I want to show you guys the way and give you hope that not only will you survive it if you do the work, and if you get rid of the cancer, and if you embrace this as your healing, and if you do all the stuff to heal your body, then you will be blessed far beyond what you can possibly think. I'm just now getting better. Oh my God, I think I have a really bright future because that's what this was designed to do. It was designed to, there was this boil in my belly and it needed lanced, and now almost all the poison is out. It's really cool. So walk around with a spirit of gratitude and celebration. Now, having said all those wonderful things about being empowered, understand the acronym HALT. When you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, and when you're tired, you might be vulnerable, more vulnerable to moments of triggering. Yesterday was a really rough and long day. My middle daughter is going to Purdue University for graduate school for speech therapy, and we moved her to Purdue yesterday, my ex-wife and I. And I got a truck, and we loaded up with stuff. And but we got there, we decided she needed a table and chairs. And we went to Walmart, and we found this really cool, high-quality set of dinette set for just $200, and we bought it. But we didn't know that it was going to take a mechanical engineer with a master's degree to put the chairs together. And so I was there putting chairs together until about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I got in the truck and I drove home to drop the truck off. I got there about 2:30 in the morning. And there were 20 trucks lined up at this very small parking lot. And the trucks were situated so as to block my car in. So, rough night. I had a lot of stuff. Thank God for Uber. Uber saves the day. But my point was, it was 1:30 in the morning. I was driving back, and sort of a spear hit me in the belly. And that was, I remembered a couple of times when the narcissist, her mask was completely off. And she was a whole entire another person. It's like 99.8% of the time her mask was on, but at this moment her mask was completely off. And it was just so spooky. It was so surreal for somebody to basically say, yeah, I didn't really exist. I never really loved you. And I was just thinking about that, and it wasn't so much that I was relapsing as I was processing. And I called a very knowledgeable person in narcissistic abuse, and my dear friend, and we processed, and I cried, and I pulled the spear out of my belly. And I wake up this morning not with a dark cloud over my head, but with joy in my heart. So I'm just saying that do these 10 things, practice these 10 things, change how you think, but every once in a while you're going to have to pull a spear out of your belly. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to wallow in it for even a day. Cry it out, talk to a friend, get your mind right, and then dance down the road. So folks, empower yourselves. Get your focus off of the narcissist, the borderline. They're nothing. They're not worth your energy. When a good sign that you're doing poorly in your recovery is when there's an obsession, where there's cognitive dissonance, where you don't know if they're the bad guy or you're the bad guy, and you keep flipping back and forth. And when that happens, you need to watch as many YouTube videos as possible and read the book Psychopath Free by Jackson McKenzie. So I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. It's rainy here and quiet. I'm going to watch the Olympics. If you have not joined our YouTube channel, please do that. Family Tree Counseling on YouTube. We are gathering so many followers. We're sneaking up on 4,000. And also abandonment and shame are very closely involved with this process of narcissistic abuse syndrome. And I've got some good books on those subjects, as well as a good book on affair recovery at our website, familytreecounseling.com. I wish that I could just reach out there. I look like a healing evangelist, don't I? I wish I could just reach out there and touch your hearts and tell you it's going to be okay, and tell you that you will dance again, you will wipe your tears, you will be happy, you'll be happier than you've ever been, that what looks like a disaster, losing this person, is the best thing that's ever happened to you. You're free, you've done your work with your family of origin reenactment, and now you can be free to really love on a more genuine and a healthy level. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week. God bless you.